Good morning, Mark Soderberg with ADM Investor Services with your morning ag outlook for Tuesday, August 19th. Mostly lower trade across the ag space here overnight. Corn right now 3 to 4 lower. Wheat prices range from steady to about 4 lower. Mix in the soy complex, however, beans have flipped now 1 to 2 lower. Meal prices up $3 to $4, while bean oil has backed off about 60 points. Crop ratings after yesterday's close were generally in line with expectations. Corn ratings did slip 1% to 71%, good to excellent. Conditions improved in 7 states while declining in 11. Overall ratings do remain the highest since 2016. With the updated acres from the USDA report last week and the updated conditions, my model is forecasting an average U.S. corn yield of 185.8 with production at 16.48 billion bushels below the USDA's 188.8 bushel per acre yield, and production there at 16.742. 72% of the crop is in the dough stage, 27% has dented, while 3% is mature, and all these are in line with recent history. Soybean conditions held steady at 68%, good to excellent, with conditions improving in 8 states, declining in 6, holding steady in 4. Overall ratings are the highest since 2020. Updated acreage data and the condition report would suggest an average yield right in line with the USDA, 53.6. I've got production just a touch higher at 4.295 billion bushels. 82% of the crop is setting pods. Spring wheat conditions improved 1% to 50%, good to excellent. While in line with expectations, current ratings to me still suggest yields well below the USDA forecast at 51.7 bushels an acre. Harvest advanced rather quickly last week, up 20% to 36% complete. Winter wheat harvest is now up to 94% done. Day one of the Pro Farmer Crop Tour showed soybean counts in both South Dakota and Ohio higher than year-ago levels and well above their 3-year average. Corn yields in South Dakota were pegged at just over 174 bushels an acre, well above last year's 156.5 and above the USDA's forecast last week at 168. In Ohio, the Pro Farmer Crop Tour has yields at 186, up from 183 a year ago, however, below the USDA forecast at 196. Yesterday's peace talks between President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and other European leaders appears to be constructive, with hopes of negotiating a ceasefire and lasting peace in the region. Now, the hard part, that's getting a trilateral agreement in place, which would include, of course, Russian President Putin. Heavy rains overnight impacted parts of the nation's midsection, including north central and northeast Illinois. 3 to 5 inches in a lot of areas, some isolated areas heavier than that, did produce some flooding. Overall impact on crops, however, appear to be minimal. Much less rain and cooler temperatures are now being offered through the next 5 days. Cooler temperatures really look to extend into the end of the month. Some heavy rain potential in the southeast as remnants of Hurricane Erin look to scrape along the Atlantic coast. Inside trade for D's corn overnight, despite the weakness, I look for prices to retest that $4 level soon, setting up a 380-410 range. Near-term resistance for Nove beans is at last week's high at 10.49 with support below the market at the 100-day moving average at 10.26. I think the lows are in for Nove beans, looking for prices to trade in a 10 to 10.75 range. Inside trade for both products overnight, set meal holding support at its 50-day moving average at 280.40. New contract lows for September Chicago did trade below that $5 level finally, and just did dip below the spring low at 4.99. New contract low for Minneapolis wheat held tight here in Kansas City at 5.01. 5 trading houses have participated in Jordan's tender. So far, no purchase. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a great day.